As we welcome back our Leaving Certificate class of 2021, this slideshow will cover topics such as health and safety, how the remainder of the academic year will look, some housekeeping arrangements, and how the Leaving Certificate is being organised this year. The following health and safety measures should be strictly adhered to on your return to school. Face masks must be worn at all times in the school building and courtyard area. 2-metre physical distancing should be observed wherever possible, and congregation of groups of students is not permitted. Hand washing and hand sanitising should be carried out frequently throughout the day. The correct respiratory etiquette should be observed. If a student needs to cough or sneeze, this should be done into the student's elbow. Students are not permitted to leave the school grounds at break or lunchtime for the month of March. And food should only be eaten at desks marked with a 2-metre sticker in GC6 or when seated at opposite ends of the desks in the home economics room at break or lunchtime. This is how the school calendar looks from here until the end of May. In March, we'll have 19 class contact days. In April, after the Easter holidays, we'll have 14 class contact days. In the month of May, there will be 19 class contact days. However, note that up until the 14th of May, this is the class contact time that teachers can consider for forming an accredited grade. The Leaving Certificate exam begins on June the 9th this year. School will end for Leaving Cert students on May the 28th this year. Currently, we're awaiting further updates from the Department of Education on how coursework components and oral examinations will take place. But we do know that for the 19 days class contact time in March, students will be preparing for their oral examinations, which will take place at the Easter holidays, and will be continuing work on their coursework components. Let's look at some housekeeping arrangements for March 2021. Breakfast Club will run each morning from 8:30 a.m. until 9 a.m. Breakfast Club will run in the home economics room. This is also the room that 6th years will use for break time and lunchtime. 6th years base classroom will be GC6 for the month of March. The toilets that 6th years should use were the toilets that were signposted for 1st years in term 1. 6th years will also use a block class timetable, and please note the different end times and start times to school. Here is the 6th year timetable for March 2021. For Leaving Certificate 2021, students have 2 options. Students can choose to receive an accredited grade only, or students can choose to go ahead and sit the conventional Leaving Certificate written exams in June, as well as getting an accredited grade from their teachers. The State Exams Commission will give students the higher grade in each case. Let's take a look at the accredited grade system versus the Leaving Certificate. With the accredited grade system, teachers use a combination of formative and summative assessment and their professional judgments to come up with a grade for students. Students opting for the accredited grade system do not complete the important pieces of coursework, such as orals, practicals, or projects that they have already started. Instead, students are opting to let teachers use their professional judgment to estimate a grade for this coursework. Under the accredited grade system, instead of a student sitting written exams in June, students are opting to allow teachers to use their professional judgment to estimate a grade for the student's achievements in learning and progression over 2 years. Teachers will collect data from now until the 14th of May. From the 14th of May to the 28th of May, teachers will complete the process of calculating an accredited grade for each student. With the conventional Leaving Certificate, all coursework, such as orals, practicals, and projects, will be completed by students. However, new deadlines will be set by the Department of Education to allow students time and space to complete this important work. There will be further adjustments made to the written examination. For example, a reduction in the number of questions to be answered on the day, greater choice in answering those questions, and more time to answer the questions and read the papers in the Leaving Certificate written exams. The Leaving Certificate written examinations commence as normal on the 9th of June this year. One key difference this year is that there is no second exam option for students, whereas in the past a student unable to sit a written exam would have been given an opportunity to resit that exam at a later date. With the conventional Leaving Certificate examination, a normal appeal process exists this year. An accredited grade is formed using the following process. Firstly, the teacher's estimation of student percentage marks is calculated. Secondly, a school alignment process takes place through subject departments, comprising teachers who are teaching the subject to Leaving Certificate students over the course of the year. Thirdly, there's oversight of the alignment process by the school principal. And finally, these grades are transmitted to the State Examinations Commission, where they'll undergo a national standardisation. To form an accredited grade, teachers will rely on the following pieces of evidence: data from house exams, effective engagement with remote learning by students in January and February 2021, records of student performance, student assignment work, any project work that students completed, any practical work that students have done, any teacher records of class assessments from 5th year and 6th year. Coursework components, even if not completed, can be used as evidence. An observation of student learning and progression will also be used. In addition to this, there will be 3 assessments that will take place between Easter and May the 14th, 2021. The Department of Education guidelines clearly state that any form of influence, inducement, pressure or coercion by a parent or student in relation to a student's marks is strictly prohibited. Canvassing of teachers is strictly prohibited over the course of the next 2 terms. Students and parents are not permitted to engage in discussion with teachers about their potential accredited grades. Teachers are not permitted to engage in discussion with students and parents about their potential accredited grades. Ultimately, the teacher's accredited grade is just one step in 4 of arriving at the final result. Let's look at an example of how the conventional Leaving Cert and accredited grades are combined to form a student's ultimate results. In the case below, we can see in the blue columns the accredited grades given to a student. In the orange columns, we can see the student's results in the conventional Leaving Certificate. The State Examinations Commission will choose the higher of the results from the accredited grades and from the conventional Leaving Cert. These are the results that will be combined to form the student's ultimate Leaving Certificate. With the conventional Leaving Certificate this year, we will see teachers focusing class time on preparing students for the written exams in June. There will be a greater amount of choice in the questions on the Leaving Certificate this year. There will be a reduced number of questions this year. This means that there's more time to read the paper and answer the questions in June. The written Leaving Certificate exams are what is formally recommended by the management and teachers of Coláiste Chóisíre. Working towards this exam will provide excellent evidence for your teachers in forming an accredited grade. Sitting this exam will give students a dual opportunity of securing the highest possible grade. Students have nothing to lose and everything to gain by sitting their written exams in June 2021. Following the Easter holidays and the cessation of orals and practical exams over Easter time, there will be assessments taking place between Easter and May the 14th. However, we will not have mock exams in the traditional sense this year. There will be 3 assessments between Easter and May the 14th. Each assessment will be of no more than 1 class in duration and a maximum of 1 hour in a double class. Examples of tests that may be administered are written, oral, or practical tests. Should students or parents have any questions about the Leaving Certificate process in 2021, please email info@coláistechosúra.ie.